Hello everybody, welcome back to another Hypixel Housing video. Today we'll be going over the complete basics, bare bone basics of Hypixel Housing, including the housing menu, the special housing items that aren't available in creative mode, plot upgrading, how to upgrade your plot with super easy ways, and much more. So without further ado, let's dive right into the video. So first, to start off, you're in the Hypixel Housing lobby, but you don't know what to do. What you do is you right click this little My Houses NPC and you click a little button. And when you click a button, you'll be on this little hot air balloon. Now you'll be in a completely empty plot and you should see like a red outline. Now there's currently like a small bug where it shows two red outlines, but if you whatever red outline is the smallest, that's the one you have. So you start off with a 31 by 31 plot, which is decently small, but you can upgrade it later on, which we'll talk about later on in the video. So, Hypixel Housing is not at all talking about houses. Like, you don't just make a house and show it to people, like the name says. Now, way back when it first started, maybe that's what it was like, but it's really grown into something very different. What you do is you start off in creative mode. If you press E, the inventory button, you can do any of the 1.8 items. It doesn't matter if you're in 1.16 or 1.19, you can't use any 1.9 or later blocks, or even items or potion effects. That's the only downside. Now really, it's become more like a game engine, because if you go in the housing menu and go to items like NPC and action pad, you can do conditionals, and there's many features that make it just like a game engine, like Unreal Engine, Unity Engine, many things. And you can make your own games. But what types of houses are there? Well, there's houses like parkour, PvP, simulators, like one of the most popular ones is Mining Simulator, which there's currently Mining Simulator 2. And then there's a roleplay, which is basically a build that you go around in, and sometimes you like a certain role, like a princess or something. And then there's also a free build. Now, free build is an overused idea that's kind of not popular anymore, but people still use it to this day. Those are the 5 main types of houses that you will most likely make. And then another one you can also keep tight is like a minigame central kind of, where you have multiple games in one house. But those aren't really big right now. So now let's get into the housing menu. Now if you right click this little nether star in your inventory, you'll come up to a menu that looks like this. Now there's so many items and buttons, you'll probably get overwhelmed. Now this brick shows all the blocks you have. Now you probably won't even need this, but it has a block that you can't obtain in the creative inventory. A barrier block. A barrier. Which I currently just have a resource texture pack for skyblock, so that's why the barrier looks like that. And same for plants, you don't need them. The only thing you should worry about up here is themes in biomes and skies. So if you click biomes and skies, little dead bush, you'll see many biomes you can change to, which let's say I change it to a desert. It changes the color of the grass block, and tree leaves, etc. Now, any of this. Now the sky changes the sky. Now I currently haven't unlocked the skies in this account, but the sky, the end is just completely black, the nether is completely red. It's really fun to mess around with it. And in the weather selector, lets you change it for raining. Like right now it's raining. It takes a second, but it's raining. And then same for thunderstorming, lightning, or if you just want lightning, you can just lightning. But it doesn't rain in a desert, and I may or may not have set my biome to a desert, so cheers to me. Gonna change it back to regular. Next is themes. Now themes are basically what's outside of your plot. Like currently, inside of this red border is what I can build in. Now outside of this, I can't build at all. This is part of the theme. So let's say I go to my housing and themes. Themes you can buy with mystery dust, or you can get in mystery boxes. So for example, if I change it to snow theme, it changes to the snowing, and it changes the outside. But one of my most favorites is the air theme. So if I go to themes, and I go all the way over here, to air, which is just a stained glass pane as an icon. It's literally just air all around. You can't see any other islands or nothing around. This is what the most used theme is. Now let's say you have your plot upgraded to the max plot you can possibly get. 101 by 101 as says here. It only works on air theme, and it only works on vanilla theme. Vanilla theme is basically a generated vanilla world. And you can even edit some of the vanilla world. Like there's a whole big mountain up here that you can edit. Because it's 101 by 101. Now that's about themes and plots. What about all these other icons? Now Pro Tools we talk a lot about in another video, which I'll link in the description and probably a card above. Now there's a region selector where you can left click one part and then right click another, and then use commands like /set, or use the set or fill, or you can copy paste. All these work with the region selector, and then for example set grass. That's basically what Pro Tools are, and they're kind of self-explanatory. You can play around with them. And in cut, we'll just cut whatever you have selected. Now let's go to collectibles. Now collectibles you can access in a lobby. They aren't really specific to housing, but you can turn off some of these in permissions. Now to rewards. Now rewards are basically things you can find in reward cards. Now if you don't know what reward cards are, if you go into the lobby, you can see a delivery man. Now in this delivery man, if you right click him, you have a daily reward. Every single day you log in on Hypixel, you can claim the daily reward in your web browser when you click it, and you can get rewards such as housing blocks. Now I currently have many of them unlocked, like agility potion and a red treasure chest. They aren't full blocks, they're just custom heads, since you can't give yourself custom heads in housing. And then there's also school packs, which include mini schools and heads you can use for decoration. Now visibility, you can also access by doing /visibility. You can change the amount of players visible. Now up to 100 will only display 100 players, but using the max player option you can get up to 250 players, which is a lot, so it can definitely lag your computer. Now clear inventory obviously clears your inventory. Player listing lists all players that have been in your house and that are currently in your house that have a certain role. Now permissions and groups, it has permissions, so you can create your own group or edit another group, and you can add things like whether this player can mute other people in the house using /mute, or they have chat slow mode on, or they're automatically in creative, or they're in build. Build is a very dangerous option to use. It's kind of self-explanatory, but I also have a housing guide video on that, which you can view in my whole playlist. Visiting rules is also very important. You can choose it public, party members only, where only your party can visit your house, a friend, any of your friend list can visit, or guild, your whole guild can visit. You can enable up all three of these, or public, which enables all of them automatically. For the sake of this, I'm leaving it private. Now the rest of this, build mode and social mode, if you click it, it'll change social. That means not you, the owner, or anybody can build. This is good if you have a creeper, like in a free build, and you have to ban him. Now I'm going to change it back. Now the jukebox, you sadly have to be VIP only, but it plays basically note block songs and has a whole 5-page list. And if you turn them all on, it'll cycle through them. Now to the most advanced thing in this whole menu, house settings. There's many options. So first we're going to start off with regions. Now as we talked about earlier with Pro Tools, you can make a region. So if you go all the way up here, I'm going to select my block. And I'm going to place another block here. So here's my region. It's basically a big square. And I set point A and point B. Now I'm going to go create a region. You can name it whatever you want, and in entry actions, I'm going to send a chat message, just simple hello. So if I exit and I go inside my region, I get hello. Now you can also add exit actions, and they can do many things in regions. It's the exact same as action pads and NPCs. You can do things like random actions, set hunger level, kill the player, teleport the player, etc. Now time selector changes the time to day or to night, and you can specifically set it. The max players we talked about earlier just changes the max amount of players that can visit your house. The set house name appears on your scoreboard, which you can also edit, which we'll talk about in a second. Now you can also use colors like and6 and an and9. You can use different colors, which you can just search on Google all the housing colors and you can memorize them. You memorize them in time, so yeah. Now if we go to plot size, you can upgrade it using mystery dust, which we talked about just a minute ago. House tags, very important. You should do to all houses. You can select up to 3. I selected 3, and basically they go in a category. If we go to travel someone else's house, you can click a sidebar and choose a different tag, so it's important if they're looking for a certain house. Now I'm gonna go to cookie jar. Now the cookie jar just shows so many cookies you can give and the cookies in the house. House language, self-explanatory. Parkour announce. If we go to items and parkour block, which is another special block, basically when you do parkour, it'll announce it in chat just as I did there. Now you can cycle through it, like if it's on all, it'll just announce it no matter what for any player. If it's off, it won't do it. If it's record, if they break a record in like top 10, it'll announce it. Now these are different settings, like save player states. It can save this wherever they are in their inventory for 7 days. Join leave messages. If a player joins your house, it'll say username join the house. You can turn that on or off. Door fence auto reset. When they open a door fence, it'll reset after a couple seconds. Now statuses is basically Bed Wars kills or Skywars wins. It shows statuses above their head. You can turn that off. Now persistent player stats or stats, you can turn them on or off. We talk more about stats in a different housing guide video. They're a bit more complicated to include in this overview, so just make sure to watch that. PvP and damage settings. This is for the whole entire house, not a specific region. But you can turn on PvP, fire damage, all that stuff, and then edit the layout. Like when they join the house, they get all this stuff, and the armor automatically equips. Now the scoreboard editor, you can add different lines like a parkour time, the current parkour time, in house mode, build mode, social mode, and many other things. Now commands, you can add custom commands. Like if I type /LOL for a custom command, I can add an action, and maybe for this, I may want to just play or give a potion effect, like nausea for 2 seconds. So if I do /LOL, it will give me nausea for 2 seconds, as you can see in the side. So you finally learned the whole housing menu. Next, let's talk about some of the special items. Now the teleport pad, the action pad, hologram, so for the teleport pad, it can teleport you between them if you sneak click on them. You can change the color and then change destination. It shows the color in this emoji right there. We talked more about these in the items video. Parkour block we just talked about. When you place them, you can only have one start, one end, and only a certain amount of checkpoints. Place a start, you press another, it'll place an end. If you do another, it'll make the end a checkpoint, and so on. But if you delete a checkpoint, it'll just do nothing. If you delete the end, it'll make the first checkpoint the end. So it gets a bit annoying sometimes, but it works. Hologram, if you sneak click on them, you can add different lines. They support colors, like in 7, which is gray. Now, one more item is an NPC. Now, the NPC is just like the action pad and action button. If you sneak click on it, you can add any action. NPC is just like that, but, well, an NPC, like a character instead of stepping on it or pressing it. It's as simple as that. Now, some other things like the trash can are pretty self-explanatory. You right click on it, you throw things away. Mailbox, they can send things to you. Like if they do this and they have a book and quill, like let me get myself a book and quill. And if I write something, sign and close, I got a message. And of course it got sent by me and I can view it. This is good, but it's rarely used, so. And then you click it and press remove mailbox to remove it. So that's items. And now these are also self-explanatory. It tells you can do /social YouTube channel and then type your channel, basically the end of it, and same for the rest of these. So that's all the items. Now lastly, but definitely not least, we're going to talk about plot upgrading. How you can upgrade your plot super easily. So the way you do this is you get mystery dust. So it kind of works the same way you get these rewards. You go to the lobby, any lobby except the prototype. Go to the delivery man and claim a daily reward every single day. You can do it every single day no matter what. Now there are other ways to do it, like if it's a summer event or Christmas event, you can indeed lobby fish, which is available in the main lobby, but it takes longer that way. Just do the daily reward every day and you can usually get it. Now you can also get mystery dust by opening duplicates of mystery boxes. Let me open one for an example. Here we go, a common grin email is a duplicate. It'll mark it out and then I got 3 mystery dust. Depending on the rarity, you get more mystery dust. So, that's the end of the video. Now make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed the video, like if you want to see more of this, and thanks for watching. See you in the next one.